car. Today we're going to be doing the front and rear bottom engine mounts. I mean, as you've just seen from the clips, it's got quite a bad bang from the back of the car. It may be the diff mounts. I'm not 100% sure. I've not actually had it in the air to inspect. But they're about £100, and these other ones I bought for the front are about 60. So I thought I'll do the cheapest thing first, go from there. So I've never put the car on ramps. We're just looking for some wood because it's definitely not going to fit on the ramps as it is. So we're just trying to find some wood that will actually work. It might not look great, me getting it on the ramps, because the clutch is giving out. So you really have to give it some revs. But yeah, we'll see how we get on.
That's how your ride height should sit, mate. Mad Max style. Can you get out of the passy?
Nah. So, taking a look under the car, for the age it is incredibly clean. You can tell this has been painted. The actual underside is basically rust free. So what we're replacing is this here, which doesn't look that bad really. And then there is another one back just here, which looks like it is quite badly perished. So really, let's undo these two, undo this one, undo that one back there, and then these two at the front, and then we should be good to go. So the only tools you'll need for this job is a 14mm ratchet, preferably one with a smaller handle, and a 17mm spanner. All of the bolts that are holding the bar to the frame of the car are all 17mm, and it's only the 14mm that you'll need for the two pushers. Fucking high enough, is it? Just jacking up the gearbox here to take the weight off of the bar. Use the open end of a 17mm spanner on one side and a 14mm socket on the other. Right, you in?
Yeah.
You on?
Yeah.
You able to push that up a bit?
Yeah.
That's it. Is that not spinning? Oh,
It fell in my hand, mate.
Parker. I'll push this bit up while I try and pull the nut out.
Sorry, bud.
It just doesn't want to come out. Can we try and let it go down? No. Oh, there we go. That should drop out now.
I'll get that.
Just cool. Right, I'll take it. Cool. So once the bar's out of the car, it's just these two bushes here and here. They need to be replaced. Now they don't look that bad. The flex in them is fine. I mean, this one looks. You can see it's slightly perished at the back there. This one's definitely seen better days. You can see the rubber is perishing, but I don't know if there's enough movement in there that would cause the banging from the back. But these are the replacements. So the rears, which is the smaller one here, Powerflex PFF4 107R. They're 63mm, and for the fronts, the larger diameter are Powerflex 106Rs. So PFF 44 106Rs. These are 70mm, so they are for the fronts. This is for the GSR model. I believe on the RS model without ABS, they are both 70mm. It was quite hard to work out which ones were the right ones because looking up the part number didn't come back with a 63mm. But yeah, so what you need to do, get a hacksaw blade through here, cut into it, push that bearing out, push these bad boys in. Let's do it. So the trick here, get your hacksaw, push the blade out, put your blade through the bush, and then reattach the hacksaw. Cool, so once you're back in, you just need to start cutting. So okay, about 8 hours later, I am through. So you need to make sure you don't go past this lip. So this lip is the bearing, this is the holder at the top here. If you go through here, you're gonna have big problems. So just make sure you only go to that lip, because it's obviously not very thick. But yeah, that took a long time. I think the blade's probably shot as well, but I have got my helper on the way with some more blades, so let's get it. So here we are. Took us about 2 hours. We ended up sawing through to the end here, and then we actually cut around the outside of the bush. So we actually cut with a hacksaw out there, and then just started drilling down through there. And then once we drilled a little bit, smashed in a flathead, and with some encouragement, it's done. Well, not done, but much better than it was. Right, after some encouragement with some screwdrivers, what we did was, when this was like this, we put in one where we'd split it, and then we hammered it in, and then we hammered in another one sort of here, and then put in the third one over here until it kind of crumpled in on itself. And it's free. That took 4 hours, I think, but this fits perfectly. We're just going to use some sandpaper to get rid of these score marks, just so it sits flush. Cool, so lube the inside of that, push in the two sides, push in the pin, and then back on the bar. Let's do it. Right, it is now back on the bar. We've only managed to do one, and it is slowly turning into night time, so we're probably going to pack up and give it a crack tomorrow. But yeah, I'll film this going back in and go from there.
How much was that Makita set?
Huh?
How much was that Makita set?
70 quid?
It's not bad, is it?
No, it's alright. I can't remember which fucking bolt goes in where. That's it. Sits in there. Make sure that's...
Yeah.
Sounds right. Thank you. Yeah, so these bottom bars usually get really rusty,
Oh yeah.
but they're like common faults on these cars.
That one doesn't even look that bad, you know?
Yeah, it's definitely been painted, but
Yeah.
it does seem solid still.
What's next? The bar that goes across? Oh, that's just got a actual bolt.
Yeah, we need to put the actual bush bolts back in.
One of these has been replaced as well.
So this backside had the nut
On your side.
on this side, wasn't it?
So there's that, lad. Oh wait, no, it's that.
Yeah. Of course it doesn't go through. So we did find that this hole wouldn't line up if you had put in these bolts first. So it's probably best line this up, slot that bolt through and then do the rest up, because it will need to obviously attach to the engine to then push it up. So after going back and installing the second bush in the bar today, I thought I'd go through a few first impressions, how I found the car. So really the good points from installing this is it's easy to do, it's really easy to do, and it costs peanuts for what you actually get from the car. The throttle response is razor sharp. It used to be a little bit boggy down low, which seems to be improved, and the handling when you're turning into a corner, things aren't banging around, so you do find that it is a lot better at being predictable when you go around corners. Now, some of the bad points: the vibration in the cabin is a lot more pronounced, shall we say. You can feel it through it quite heavily through the steering wheel. If you take your hands off the steering wheel, you can see the steering wheel vibrating. And the vibrations through the bottom of the seat, it sort of vibrates your whole body really, which isn't necessarily a completely awful thing. It is just the way the polybushes act. The most annoying thing is that the banging from the back of the car isn't fixed. It is probably worse than it was. When I just put in the rear bush, it seemed a lot better, but having now replaced both, it seems to have gotten worse. So that is something that we're going to have to continue to investigate. It is probably the def mounts. It's coming from the rear of the car, so that is going to be the next on the list of things to replace. The final point, I like this, some people may not. The engine noise in the cabin is almost twice as loud as it was. So when you're going through the gears, it's all you can hear really. And on the motorway it can be a little bit drony. It does tend to overpower the radio, but again, it's not exactly a car that I will be using daily. So I'm not after silence, I'm after the noise, I'm after the road noise, the chop and the boost. So really, for me, it's an increase of enjoyment for the car. For some people, it may not be. But that's basically a wrap.